Inspire. Bless Energy Network with Unity and Power is a coaching business/movement that inspires and curates a systematic approach to assist inner city communities with personal supernatural identities, leading witnesses to the highest definition of themselves supernaturally. It is highly recommended to assist with healing mental health and increasing spiritual value. The inspiration works great for children, adults, and elders. The formula is a duplicated process, providing agreed upon results. Simply proclaiming you are blessed with energy announces you are alive on purpose and have the ability to succeed. Next, income. We provide income strategies from the encouragement received. Once you have confirmed who you are supernaturally, you are now able to proceed to become a brand ambassador. Here is where you're able to create income opportunities by assisting others with their supernatural identities and healing. Enrolling them into the system to become brand ambassadors earns you a nice commission. Once enrolled, you have the ability to market and sell the products and utilize the services for economical growth, stability, and healing. The inspiration will enhance your mental health and increase your spiritual value. Lastly, insurance. Introduce insurance options, whole and term. Financial literacy is key to our uprising. With high endeavors, we provide inspiration, income, and insurance. Bless Energy.
Before we started We Invest Different Podcasts, I had a hard time figuring out where to record my podcast. If you are like me, I got some good news for you. If you haven't heard of Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. You have everything you need in one place. Anchor has tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and your computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So if you're interested, just go on over to your app store and download Anchor or go to anchor.fm to get started. You are now tuned in to We Invest Different Podcasts, where we have high-level conversations. I'm Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm Victor Thomas II.
Let's tap in. Welcome to another conversation of We Invest Different Podcasts. I'm co-host Mr. John Michael Best.
And I'm your other co-host, Victor Thomas II.
And we're excited to have King Victor Thomas back, man. The King had been, dealing with scheduling, and we all, we all are trying to find our best, groove with, our lifestyle at the time.
Right.
So I'm just elated, and I'm just so excited, and I'm just so welcoming you back to your position, bro. So,
right.
How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Just, praying, fasting today. Like I told you, I was fighting it, but God told me to go ahead and sit down and do this because it's been a while. Been a while since I fasted, and it's right on time, just like my God always is, bro. So, I'm grateful and glad to be back on here with you, man, for sure.
Man, yes, and I really can't wait for you to actually be on, a conversation when we have our next guest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, I was listening to the one with you and AJ this morning, man. I was like, damn, I wish I could have been on that one with y'all, bro.
We definitely gonna tap back in, because we gonna have part 2, and we probably be doing part 3 as well, bro. So with King AJ, we definitely got time for us to get in some more content with all of us, bro.
Word. I look forward to it, man, for real.
For sure, man, for sure. But you said you've been doing well.
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Just staying focused. Realigning my goals. Really setting the structure. Well, adding on to the structure I was creating. That's really where I'm at right now. So it's a process, but I'm learning along the way, doing a lot of research, man. I don't think I put enough emphasis on researching what it is I'm trying to do before I do it. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of reading and looking at, videos, people talking about stuff, and, just soaking up all I can. So, I make the best decisions even in the planning process. You feel me?
Yeah. And that's what's up, bro. I've been doing well, man. And just dealing with everything with my son and everything like that and life. And like I told you, the last time that we got on the call, I think it was about like 2 conversations ago, I told you about the car situation, and I also called you and told you about all the weird stuff that had been happening
Yeah.
in the midst of everything. So
Mm-hmm.
tapping back into what's going on now. As I continue to be positive, man, I became stronger, in this process, and
All
we
right.
have a vehicle now. But
Praise God.
the next goal, the next goal is to continue, to be productive and probably get another vehicle. So I'm looking to add on a truck to the family pretty soon, and that's the plan. So speaking life into that, and then also what I wanted to tap into today, man, is the paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a certain way I want to attack this, and there's a certain thing I want to talk about when it comes to paradigm. And are you familiar with that word, Vic?
No, not beyond that text you sent me. That was
Okay,
my first
cool.
time really hearing it.
The first time I heard paradigm is from Jim Rome, and he's a guy that he big on personal development. I used to watch his YouTube videos all the time, and Bob Proctor as well. Bob Proctor is one of the guys that talk about paradigm shifting, and I also my mentors today. I believe one of 19 Keys mentioned paradigm as well. But
Oh, 19 Keys.
yeah, I've been tapped in with him for a while.
Man, bro sent me a message, bro. I ain't know who it was.
You got to make sure it's the right account now.
It's a real one. Cause this junk sent kind of spam me, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, you got to wait sure because they make little accounts and stuff too. I don't had like fake accounts follow me with his name and all of that stuff too. So
Okay.
you got to make sure it's the right account.
Okay. All right. We'll talk about that later. But go ahead though. My bad.
But tapping into the paradigm, man, and it brought to my attention what it meant. And I was like, you know what, man, there's a lot of things that need to be shifted in our paradigm. So it made me ponder upon, to dig deeper on what the paradigm actually is. And once I did some research and dug more deeper into the definition of paradigm, I realized that it's different contexts of it.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is the context that I'm talking about, which is a collection of beliefs that are held by a group of people. And I thought about the many things that we believe as a people that needs to be dismantled, needs to be unlearned, and needs to be understood. And one of the things that was brought to my attention is, like the mindset that we have as men when it comes to what we feel that we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so much that be pulling at us as men. Because like if you notice, well, I'm gonna be transparent. A lot of what I do, I think about it in terms of things that's bigger than me. So I'm always working towards something outside of myself. Like I'm always working towards something that's bigger than me. But not oftentimes do I put that same energy into making sure I'm nurtured, making sure I'm taken care of, making sure I'm well, I'm straight. So going a little bit deeper, you spoke a little bit about how God was telling you that you needed to relax today.
Yeah.
Now, you also explained that your body and your mind was trying to avoid that.
For sure.
That's because it's natural for a man to always feel that he needs to be productive.
Real talk.
But is that natural though? So let's tap in. Um, I feel that one thing that all men have in common in their paradigm is that we don't feel like men if we're not being productive. But what is productivity though? Our view and perspective of productivity is working hard. Majority of our perspective on being productive is like you working. So that plays on the subconscious, which is why I wanted to talk about the paradigm. You know, down through the years and down through society and down through our legacy and our generations before us, there were a lot of things that were connected to our paradigm and that was taught to us. So, and if you look back and if you notice, all men did back in the day was work.
Mm-hmm.
So that mindset is still instilled in us, but the way we are productive today isn't the same way we are productive 50 years ago.
Right. Right.
So it needs to be a paradigm shift because in certain ways back then that was productive. You know, working all the time was productive back then because that was what was needed. And that was the type of productivity that was needed because that's all we knew back then. But in today's world, we got so many options and we got so many ways to be productive. And sometimes I still feel subconsciously that our paradigm is stuck into the productivity of labor, like physical labor. Like our bodies, like our DNA, our genetics, our coding is set for hard work.
Man, it's crazy you said that.
So I definitely wanted to have this conversation because I feel like men, right, we have to get to the place where we believe and we believe that we actually deserve to get rest. Because I'm gonna ask you this question. When do you really feel like you deserve rest?
Oh man, for me, it feel like I need to always be doing something. Always, I ain't even gonna hold you. It feel like I need to always be doing something.
So you don't feel like you can, okay, so let me ask you this. Um, how do you feel? Do you feel more relaxed when you got a pocket full of money?
No.
Okay, now the reason I say that was because I've heard different perspectives, and one of my perspectives is that like how I feel personally is like my mindset always goes back to my value as a man being connected to what I have.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a certain relaxation, there's a certain peace that you get when you know that the definition of what a man's supposed to be, you're feeling that. Like you feel like you're doing that when you have some money. You see what I'm saying? Like, because the whole we just got through talking about, the whole paradigm of a man is to work. We feel like we always have to be working.
Yeah.
So why are we working? We working to make money to take care of our families, right?
I mean, from a worldly perspective, yeah.
Right. So that's like, okay, like in general, that's the real, the nature of a man is to go out and hunt and take care of his family and take care of his household. So like if you have the money to do that, if like all of that is taken care of, I feel that that's when I feel I'll deserve to take a nap.
Yeah, I got you on that.
So like that literally keeps me subconsciously always working, like, and that stops us from resting because like, and check this out. I want everybody to know that by you tapping into you are becoming a healthier version of yourself to 10x what you're doing for others already.
Right.
And I'm learning to understand that, and I'm learning to accept that, and my paradigm is shifting to really realizing that the value that I add to myself is going to allow me to like skyrocket and adding value to other people.
Right.
So it's like I feel, bro, that we have to be more of a priority. Like ourselves have to be more of a priority into that area. Like men, we have to start deserving. We have to start saying we deserve things. It's a whole psychology behind this. Like subconsciously, to break a subconscious belief is harder to break a conscious belief.
Mm.
So like it's going to take more time because subconsciously we've been thinking this way for a long time. So to really start processing and really start shaping your mindset and changing your paradigm into believing you do deserve some things, it takes a process. So let's tap into that process, bro. Like as far as your mindset goes as a man, I know you believe in yourself, and I know that you're a confident being, you're a confident man. So like with that being said, what are some of the things that you feel that we can do to shift our paradigm, the paradigm of things that no longer serves us, things that are no longer true? Because it's not true that we don't deserve rest. It's not true that we don't deserve to relax our minds sometimes and feed into ourselves and be intimate with ourselves and care for ourselves, even to the point where it's getting a massage, you know, getting our head scratched.
Yeah, nah, yeah, great. You sound like grandma. Well,
No,
I,
no,
I
I'm
think,
dead.
I
So
think,
serious though. Like,
yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you.
like
But
we don't feel like we deserve that sometimes. So tap into that mindset, of how do you shift, like how do we tap into that in your opinion? And kind of say one of the things that you feel like you need to shift a paradigm in, because like I said, paradigm is a multitude of beliefs held on by a group of people. So if you see something that we're holding on to as men that we need to change, or do you see something in yourself that you need to change and shift, uh, and what are some of the ways to do that?
all right, well, me personally, I believe from my own experience, in order for me to initiate that paradigm shift, I had to first and continuously, I ain't saying I'm done with it, but I had to continuously evaluate myself. Like I like what you said about you know, catering to yourself in order to be able to help others. And that's something that I, had to evaluate within myself. Like when I'm doing this or when I'm doing that, am I at 100%? You know what I mean? Am I tired when I'm doing this? Am I frustrated? Am I stressed when I'm doing this thing? And 9 times out of 10, when I look back on the timeline, I noticed that, yeah, maybe I didn't eat right that day. Maybe I didn't get enough rest that night. Maybe I didn't take enough time to relax. So now I'm in this and I'm stressed out or I'm tired. You know what I mean? And now I'm not moving at 100%. So that had to be the first thing for me to do in order to really be sold on the shift. Because I
Mm,
can sit here and say, like, yes, I need to change this because this is what I need to change, but I got to tie it to something. I got to have a reason for doing it. You know what I mean? A solidified reason.
right.
So once I do that, one thing that helped me a lot is affirmations, bro. Like one of the things that you said was something that I struggle with that needs to be shifted as a man. Like one of my things is um feeling like I need to do something about somebody shitting me.
Mm,
Like if somebody telling me something and I know it's some bullshit, or they just telling me something that I know ain't the truth or real, I will allow myself to get frustrated by that. And by me feeling frustrated, I feel like I have to respond by addressing it. But see, I don't have to. I can just let it be what it is. If you want to shit me, that's fine. And that's what I'm working through right now. You dig what I'm saying?
yeah.
But one of my affirmations, like I said, I write down what I need to change and I read it every day so it can be on my conscience. And one of them right now is just because I see a problem doesn't mean I need to fix it. Because somebody shitting me is a problem for me. And I feel like I need to fix it right then and there.
That's very powerful because you really just explained the whole paradigm. I really
Mm-hmm.
want everybody to understand this because, like, you really just explained your whole belief system. And a lot of us have the same belief system. And the belief system I'm talking about is like what others say affects you. Like that's a paradigm. Like that's a
Right.
belief system. Like a lot of us believe that what others think about us affects us.
That's deep. That's a deep one too. That's like sound like the subconscious one you was referring to.
Exactly. And that's not true. Like
Right.
I always talk about this book that I'm reading called The Four Agreements. And it talks about it. One of the things that it talks about is how we spit out poison from our mouths and how other people spit out poison. And what's the poison? It's the negative words that we use.
Mm.
So it's like also like one of the lessons that I learned from this book, okay, it said don't take that personal, right? Because what somebody say to you is their perspective of the world.
All
So it's
right.
like don't take it personal. Just because somebody says something about you, that doesn't mean that it's about you. It's really about what they see in their world. So why should I take it personal what somebody else sees? So it's like that has nothing to do with me. That's their dream. That's their projection of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole. I need to be on that paradigm, not the paradigm of what others say affects me. Because in reality, nothing outside yourself can affect you unless you give it the power to affect you.
Right. That's real
So
talk.
that's a whole paradigm shift in itself. So it's like I definitely agree with that, and even as one of the paradigms that I have successfully shifted my paradigm, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like we said, there are other dimensions of ourselves that we need to change, but we have made changes already. And so,
Right.
like being transparent, I used to think about money so highly because, like, that's one of the things in our paradigm as well. Like, because in our culture, we're so used to always in survival. We're used to survival. We're addicted to survival, even to the point where we love an underdog story
Mm.
because society and the media has made money off of our narrative. You know, everybody loves a story of somebody coming from nothing to something. That's our
Right.
culture. And
That's the American dream.
really, bro, no, right. Literally, that's the American dream. Literally, that's the
Right.
American dream. So, but that's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I'm saying is that, man, God dang, what I was saying?
You shifted one of your paradigms.
Yeah, what I was saying, okay, yeah, we've always been in the chase of getting somewhere. We're never in the position to say, I'm where I need to be.
That's heavy.
So that's a whole paradigm shift. We always are in a transition to get where we want to be. And
Man,
it's never to see the power that we have right now.
go on tell it, cuz. Go on tell it.
But see, that's what I'm saying, but society has played on that, bro.
Yeah.
Subconsciously. So that's why the subconscious part of it is so strong and it's hard to break because you got to think about it. The music that we listen to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going from rags to riches.
Right.
Okay, now the movies that we the movies and the shows that we look at, coming from the bottom, selling drugs and getting to the top.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is Scarface. I can't
That's
even hold
it's my favorite narrative, bro. Like that's the best narrative to have. Who
you.
don't want to see somebody go from nothing to something?
Right.
But see, we don't really think about the subconscious part and the mindset part of everything because we so stuck in entertainment.
Mm.
We're so used to being entertained. So they put it in the media, they put it in the TV, we put it in the stories because it's so beautiful. But all the while we getting connected subconsciously to that story and it becomes our own story. We start living out that story in ourselves. So we're always in the battle. We're always in the fight, trying to get someplace.
Mm.
because we're literally living out being the underdog. Because we love that. We love the underdog. We become the underdog. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we listen to it, we look at it, and like we think, like, why can't I grow? Why can't I? When you start to think about it, you start realizing that, dang, I've really been feeding myself this every day. Now, I do personal development every single day, Vic, but I also look at that same narrative every day. Like when I look at my TV, when I take my breaks, when I spend time with my woman, we look at a film. Majority of the time, it's that same narrative. When I go to sleep, and like the movie or what I was looking at before bed was probably that same narrative. So it's playing on my mind, on my subconscious while I'm asleep.
But hold
So it's
on,
like,
cuz. But hold on. You don't think? Do you think that maybe that kind of stuff could be like inspirational though? Like, does it have a good aspect about it?
no, because it's a continuation is what my problem is. Like, why do we have to continue being the underdog? After we come up, why can't we continue to go up and the next generation go up and the next generation go up? It's like we're starting over every time with the same story, with the same narrative, with the same mindset, with the same paradigm. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It feels good. We love this area that we're in. We love the fact that we can come from nothing to something, because that's a superpower that we have. But we also don't see that we can actually stay up. We don't have to be down. Like,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? We don't that don't have to be a part of our narrative. Why can't we just be up and always ever transitioning into going further up?
I think that's a part of the mind frame though. Cause and it's kind of tricky because it's always room to grow, be better, get more. But I think we don't give enough attention to really appreciating where we at right now.
Yes.
And I think it's good to, see the inspiration and see coming from nothing to something. But I don't think we should. I think the issue that we have is looking at it and then looking at ourselves and saying, dang, I'm at nothing.
You just said it, bro.
You know what I mean? That's what I think the real issue is. We shit, man, we ain't grateful, bro.
Bro, that's it. You really just said it. That's the message right there. That's the message.
Yeah.
Like, we're neglecting the power that's within right now.
Right.
And it's like, that's the paradigm, bro. That's the paradigm I was talking about. A
And let me
paradigm.
let me tie that around
What's up?
about being a man and taking that self-care time. That's what I'm receiving it as.
Yeah, that's that paradigm.
Us not taking advantage of that self-care time is really us not appreciating where we at right now. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like, we really blessed to have that stuff to our expense. Like, we got time to sit down somewhere. We got time to get our hair scratched, but we not enjoying it. And 9, 10 times out of 10, those things are to our expense because we did put in some type of effort to get there. But then we get there to have it and then don't even enjoy it because we still focused on getting to the next thing.
Exactly, brother. And that's the paradigm.
Right.
That's the paradigm, bro. It's like literally your pattern, your cycle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your whole how you do things, that's your paradigm. And like collectively, as you can see, we've made this connection, bro. We've made this connection that majority of us feel like this. I know you've had CEO here tapping in. I just wanted to remind all of our supporters and all of our listeners to share our podcast and encourage everybody to subscribe and get these great conversations. Back to the show. The Financial Fashion brand, man, was created to empower people to be the best version of themselves. And we do that by promoting positivity, self-improvement, and financial literacy. And we also focus on mindset, faith, education, and wealth, because those are the principles and those are the things that you can learn to be successful in life and in business. So with that being said, take a look at our website at fnfstore.com, where you can find our apparel, you can find things about our company, and much more. Back to the show. As you can see, we've made this connection, bro. We've made this connection that majority of us feel like this. I know you've had conversations with other men that don't really take time out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that in our own families, and we see that within ourselves oftentimes.
Right.
So it's like, I really wanted to have this conversation because we really do need to start paying attention to ourselves to see what paradigm we have, first of all. Like, what type of frequency are we on? What type of belief system do we have? These are the questions that we need to ask ourselves so that we can know our paradigm and see that if we need to change our paradigm, if it don't serve us. Like, if our patterns, our routines, our belief system isn't serving us going forward, then at that very moment, we need to be figuring out what does serve us. And a pointer to figuring out what serves you is what is good. What is service? Service is always something given that's productive. When you're serving something has always been applied to something. So that's a sign of productivity. So it's like, you can question yourself. You can start to question yourself in a positive way. Like, what's good? What can I serve? What can I do that's good? That's a question. What good can I do? What good can I offer? And sometimes some people belief system don't believe that they even have anything to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when you start pouring into yourself. See, it's self-work. All of this stuff is self-work. Paradigm shifting is self-work. You know what I'm saying? Because you growing in your consciousness. We all are growing in consciousness. And this is like self-consciousness, self-awareness. You're really tapping into self-awareness, and you're diving into the things that you actually think, your thought quality. Because as we talked about earlier, about how people that came before us thought, it affects us. It affects the next generation. So we have to be careful what paradigm that we're carrying in our household. Because, like, I had a son now. So, like, I not only got to be conscious of my paradigm, but I got to also be conscious because I have someone else developing their own paradigm as well.
Right.
So, man, leading on to the if anything else you want to say about a paradigm, bro?
Oh, man, just in order to shift it, man, it might be uncomfortable.
Oh, damn. We didn't even give no steps. I ain't even give no steps on how I changed my paradigm.
Okay.
Because when I talked about how I used to chase money, and that's because I talked about how, generations before us was in that era to where everything was about work, because that's where we were. So, but like our consciousness now, like when I first got into business, I was only chasing money. But I didn't really realize that I was subconsciously, I was in lack, I was in poverty in my mind. And that was the paradigm that I was on. And like a lot of the people that I was taught by was in that same paradigm. But it wasn't until I realized I was in that paradigm through self-analyzation, right? I realized that my life wasn't equating to what I thought it would be, what I felt like it should have been. Like I felt way more valuable than where my life was. I looked at my value and I looked at how I was living, and I was like, this not matching up. And so that's when I seen that, okay, there needs to be a shift happening. And I started praying, asking the Lord to show me like where I could be better. Like, what's my purpose? How can I apply something in a positive way to where I ain't got to live this type of lifestyle anymore? I don't want to be a slave to money. I don't want to chase and just chase. Like, I want to actually have a purpose. So then that actually started that was the process starting right there. Like that was the start of my paradigm shift, because I started seeing that the current paradigm I was on of just chasing money, that belief system wasn't serving me. And then I realized that I needed to be living in divine purpose and in the will of God so that I can have true fulfillment.
Yeah,
So
right.
that was my paradigm shift. So then after I got that realization, like I had to start changing my routines. Like it didn't just happen overnight. Like my paradigm shifted, like my mindset shifted, but results don't come until you start acting on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start actually doing a series. I had to do a series of things, like actually be intentional about personal development, reading books. A lot of us don't like to read. So like I had to start reading. I had to apply myself. I had to start listening to audiobooks. I had to start just feeding myself things that I wasn't used to hearing.
Right.
But positive things though. So that actually helped me shift my paradigm as well. So first you have to like look in the mirror, and that's going to increase your consciousness. First off, that's the process starting. Like I said, when I noticed that I was chasing money, like I had to look in the mirror and say, hey, who am I? I had to question myself. That's step one. And step two is like, okay, after I found out that I was on the wrong path and that I wanted more out of life, that transitioned me into having goals for myself. Because I started seeing where I can improve after I noticed that my paradigm was off. So I started setting goals. Okay, I had to listen to personal development every day for at least an hour. So you have to set a routine. You have to set a goals for yourself, like, because your paradigm is not just going to shift on its own.
But
Because
what about them days? What about them days where you didn't? Like, I know you had times where you didn't necessarily stick to it. So what did you do in order to get back on track?
honestly, brother, I had to do the process over again.
Mm.
Like I fell off. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. In the years of 2018, 2019, I was gonna get 2018 tatted on me because it was such a revealing year in my life.
Mm.
Um, and if everybody knows I started the company in 2017, right? I launched
Uh-huh.
in 2017. I did not know the year of 2018 was gonna kick my behind the way it did. So it's like that's another gem. That's another lesson, you guys. Like in the midst of you shifting your paradigm, things are going to continue to happen in your life. So like it's all a part of your growth. It's all a part of that shift. It's all a part of that process. Cause like the changes that I made when my paradigm shifted, I had to then grow in my changing. I had to grow into that change. I had to actually go through experiences so I can become stronger in that paradigm that I was transitioning into.
Bars. Pure bars.
You see what I'm saying though? But did you see that though?
Yeah, man. For
Like,
sure.
so literally, I'm gonna tell you the story. I know we on time, but I'm gonna tell you what happened when I fell off, when I had to reshift my paradigm. Like when I went through that realization and when I went through that change, that God told me my purpose, and my purpose was to spread positivity throughout the world. And so once I seen that and that I had to lead with positivity, I started working on myself. But then after I did that, I came up with a plan, okay, to build this company. I was going to work and I was going to do this and I was going to do that and I was going to be positive and do it in a better way. And next thing you know, the next year, I had got my car repoed. I had got kicked out of the apartment I was staying in. And the job I was working with, I was stealing. Like I just started going through so much more than what I had been going through prior to prior year. I was already going through a lot, but I didn't know that I was going to have to go through more after I transitioned. It's
Mm.
like sometimes you think just because you change that, like everything else is just going to immediately change.
Come on, girl. Come
So
on,
that's
bro.
not true. So in the midst of your paradigm shift, you have to still be conscious of the enemy. You still have to be conscious of that. Like, you have to be consistently, fighting.
Mm-hmm.
You have to consistently fight to become that person that you want to become, because, Satan don't want you to be that person.
All right. He
Satan
gonna
don't
kick
want
it. He gonna kick it. He gonna kick it up a notch once you start shifting that paradigm.
Man, that's what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like the jobs I was trying to work, they weren't panning out for me. Literally, like, stuff would just start happening. Like, the job would literally be cool the week before. Like, I went to Miami in 2018, right? I needed a break. I needed a vacation. So I spent some bread to go, man. I needed it. I was depressed, and I had saved up some money because I didn't have to pay the rent because I got kicked out of the last apartment. So I had a little bit of money saved up. So I went to Miami, and the job that I had before I went to Miami, it was, I was working like 6-7 days a week. So I'm like, I need this vacation. I just got kicked out. So I need to rack up some more money, get back on my feet, and invest into my business. So we got back from Miami, and my boss man called me and told me that, the job was dead. And this is like, this is after I made the paradigm shift. This is after, this is in 2018, after I started financial fashion. I was still trying to funnel capital from my job into my business. So I was still trying to be positive, and I thought I was on the right track,
Mm-hmm.
So then something else hit. And so at that very moment, another shift came to where I had to then bet on myself. Because, like, I had never betted on myself before. Because even with that, like, that's a whole paradigm shift in itself, being an entrepreneur. So, but that's enough of that story. I just wanted to give a little background, because, like, you gonna fall off, man. Like, it's not gonna be a straight and narrow path. In this journey of becoming your most healthy self, your most proficient self, your most effective self, you're gonna have battles along the way. You're gonna fall off. You're gonna fall off the horse. But the thing about it, man, I tell myself, as long as you get back on the horse, you can finish.
Right. That's right.
So anything you would like to say about any other paradigm shift that you had, brother, before we go into our next segment?
Oh man, you tapped on all aspects, I feel.
Okay, cool, brother. Now the next segment, of course, is what we learned. Now, lately, man, we've been tapping into a lot. I've been tapping into a lot, behind closed doors, as far as like planet Earth, God's creation. And I know that's a whole conversation that we should have off the podcast. But I have been learning more about God's creation. And I'm realizing more and more as I dive into it that we are not the only beings that God created.
Right.
And also when you read the scripture, Genesis said, let us create them in our image and in our likeness.
Oh, yeah, boy, you been digging deep, boy.
So that made me realize that God is bigger than what we think. And there's a lot of things going on in the world. It's a lot of deception going on in the world. And it's a lot of control going on in religion. It's a lot of control going on in a lot of things, because the truth shall set you free. And Satan don't want us to be free. The world, the spirit of the world don't want us to be free. They want our minds to be held captive. So like the creations of God, some of the creations of God is held away from us. Some of the mysteries of God is held away from us because they don't want that. Like, there's a certain freedom that comes with knowledge.
Mm-hmm. And
But
this
I'm
is
gonna
freedom, and this is another freedom that comes from not knowing too, though. But that's a whole nother discussion. But go ahead.
know what I'm gonna say.
Real talk.
Know what I'm gonna say? I was just finna say, like, I ain't even gonna go too far into that. because like, yeah, that's a whole dissecting conversation right there. And that's very high level.
Yeah, man.
Even to the point where like I was tapping into whether the earth was flat or round, or whether there's aliens, or all of this type of stuff, because I know it don't save your soul or kill your soul to know this stuff, but I just find it interesting because like we surf Instagram, we surf Facebook, we surf all of these other places, and it's just like it doesn't apply anything to us either. So like I just find that interesting, God's creation, and just tapping into that stuff is very intriguing to me, like science and seeing the beauty of the world, and seeing all of this and capturing it and just talking about it and conversating about it. I like doing it, and I don't really see no problem with it. I feel like if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's really it's just consciousness. That's all, brother.
Yeah, I enjoy talking about that stuff too, because it's eye-opening. And, like you said, it may not necessarily save your soul or nothing, but for me, it makes me have a grander understanding of my God.
Amen. Amen. And that's a part of the reason why I do it as well. It amazes me that we're in a galaxy, and just that one galaxy. We're in the Milky Way galaxy, and that's just one.
I know you saw one of them pictures where they like one of them videos where they zoom out, like you start on Earth, and then it zoom out some, and then you see all the solar system, then it zoom out some more, and you see the galaxy, then it zoom out some more, and you see a bunch of galaxies.
I think I seen that one time.
Bro, that shit fucked me up the first time I saw it.
But that's like only but see, that's a whole nother conversation. See, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff I don't want to say over the air, because yeah, I ain't gonna say that stuff over the air.
They gonna hear it regardless at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
but I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, because I mean, I want us to keep I want us the show to continue to be, pushed out and stuff like that, because this knowledge that I was going to, well, I won't even say the knowledge that I'm gonna drop, because I mean, yeah, it's just yeah, bro. It's critical thinking, bro. It's just critical thinking. Just a lot of critical thinking, bro. You can just see through a lot of lies that's been going on, and that's another perk of like diving into stuff like this. When you learn stuff like this and you critical think, you see and dissect a lot of lies that's been taught in our science books. You see a lot of lies that's been taught by our philosophers, a lot, bro. So,
and I'm gonna tell you this. For me, upon learning that stuff, bro, and I still look at it myself too. But that requires a paradigm shift. Because it's like you have to go out into this world and you seeing how much stuff come from lies and manipulation, and you still got to be able to move a certain way, even though you know. Whew, that's a shift in its own, bro. Because sometimes some folks be talking, like, I'll give a light example, bro. I'll give a real light example, bro. The way people talk about sports. Like, I don't know if you know or if you believe, but I'm pretty sure some of these games be fake, cuz. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you seen that perspective too?
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Bro, we're going too far.
But I'm just saying. I'm just trying to give a light example though. It's just like when people start talking about it so in depth and so passionately, I be kind of like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I had to shift, had to do a paradigm shift within myself and really be like, okay, even though I see that a certain way and they see it a certain way, that doesn't mean that I have to just be the type that's like, fuck what you talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
And that's just something light. But, once you see stuff for what it is, everything start to look different. and it's a possibility that it'll change us in a way that's not so good or righteous, you know. So it's like I have to shift myself in a different new way that I can still navigate, even though I know what I know and seen what I seen.
I definitely agree with that, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
definitely agree with that. We got to move right with this information.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely we're gonna go ahead and go to the next segment, man. And I really want to talk to you after the call about this stuff.
Okay.
But definitely going to the next segment.
Oh, hold on. Let me just say what I learned real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah,
Real
I
quick.
ain't. Yeah, you didn't give one.
Yeah, real quick. God will answer our prayers in a way that we didn't expect.
Give an example.
Like God, I can't give an example off top right now because I haven't thought about an example because this is fresh. Like I learned this today, cause I ain't even had a chance to ponder on it like that.
I mean, that's still powerful. I was intrigued. I was just interested. That's all.
Oh yeah.
I definitely understand. I definitely understand that.
But let me explain it right quick though. I can't give you an example, but I can explain it. But it's like when we get into a situation and we don't know how it's gonna work out, we sometimes may pray to God like God make this happen like this because that's all that we have to refer to. Like 9 times out of 10, the way we wanted to work out is the way we saw it work out for somebody else. You know, it's pretty much like the norm of the way things working out. But sometimes we forget that we are individuals and we have our own path with God. So it's gonna be tailored to us. And that may mean that the solution that we looking for gonna come in a way that God ain't never worked before.
Wow.
And that's why they say God is in the business of miracles. See, sometimes we'll pray for something and we want something to happen some type of way, and we call on God to do it, but we ain't leaving room for God to move in the way that He moved, which is miracles.
Unusual happenings.
Come on now. We gotta leave space for that. So when we pray, you know, let God handle it how He want to go, how He want to handle it. God, I got this problem. Take care of it for me. Don't be trying to tell God to do this and God do that. Like, no, don't be trying to tell God what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He already know. He just wants you to take your problems to Him, so in the back end He can get His glory.
Right.
That's what He want. He want His glory. But leave room for God to move how He want to move, because He probably gonna answer your prayer in a way that you didn't expect. And then if and with that thinking, you know what I mean, your mind is expanded to other possibilities, and then you'll be able to see solutions. Because if you got a solution in your mind, you gonna miss all the other opportunities that may be surrounding you that God's sending. But you stuck in this one way of the problem getting solved. You dig what I'm saying?
Bro, I see exactly what you're saying.
So God may answer our prayers in ways we don't expect. So we should be open to them unexpected ways and be open to it. Then we can see it when it comes.
Mm. Thank you for that. I needed that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, man, going on, man, we're gonna go ahead and go on to the financial theme of the month, brother.
They're right.
As we all know, man, we've been talking a lot about group economics because it's a genius way, it's a genius strategy to accomplish your goals. And one of the main things I talk about group economics is like, because we're on the podcast and we understand that everybody aren't entrepreneurs. We understand that everybody don't want to be independent. So like group economics is a way that you can actually use a team to accomplish your goals. So like if you don't want to take on the whole vision, if you don't want to take on the whole, responsibility or accountability of something happening, you really can get a team and connect yourself with somebody who's doing what you're trying to do. And not only just that, Another flip side of that is like if you're really inspired to do something, but don't have all what you need, you can connect with people that do have some of what you need or all of what you need, and have them connect with your vision. So with that being said, if you have a goal or anything that you feel that you want to accomplish, but you're having a hard time accomplishing it, don't give up. Just tap into the aspect and the strategy of group economics before you just throw the towel in.
Yeah, right.
So, man, if there's nothing left to say it, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get to my son, because he's starting to be motorcycle Michael right now. I call him motorcycle Michael when he start crying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything left to say about group economics, King?
Oh, no, man. Just looking to definitely apply that. It's in my plans right now. Just reaching out to people, figuring stuff out.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And to you guys, go check out our interviews that we've been having. We've had 2 so far. The first 2 guests of 2022, and it's going to get better and better and better. So go check those episodes out. We thank you guys for tuning in to another conversation with us. I know the last couple of weeks we've been with guests, but nevertheless, we back because we the best, and we out.
All right, man.
Come on.
Peace.
Peace. Did you know 1 out of every 4 adults suffer from mental illness in some type of way? This is why we created a movement called MH10. This was created to encourage and empower people to focus on themselves for at least 10 minutes per day, at least for a jog, a walk, or a run, or meditation for that time. The goal is to decrease stress, because stress is one of the leading causes of chronic physical and mental issues in the body. So if you want to join the movement, you can post on social media during your 10 minutes using hashtags MH10 or Mental Health 10 Minutes.